The goals of the Center for Sustainability I mean, they're admirable goals. I mean, essentially their goal is to help progress sustainability research and then outreach as well, so that, you know, the general public, school kids, K through 12, as well as higher education, have a place where they can go to learn about sustainability. And they're also trying to incorporate it into the curriculums of these different programs. So, I mean, you know, and those goals kind of fit very well with something that I strongly believe, which is just, you know, learning. I want to learn as much as I can about these things, understand them for myself, and then be able to kind of teach them to other people. The Solar Decathlon is a competition that the Department of Energy and the National Renewable Energies Lab, they sponsor it. They host it every couple of years. This is the third one. The first one was in 2002, and then 2005, and this one's going to be in 2007. And basically it's 20 universities from around the world, mostly from the US, but a couple international schools. And you've got 2 years to design, build, and then transport the pieces of the house down to Washington, D.C. And you just build it there, and then they monitor it for a week for different, you know, performance criteria. So we're here at the School of Architecture and Landscape Architecture, and this is a mock-up of the Solar Decathlon house that the architecture students have been screwing around with. They built this just to try out some of the ideas that they wanted to incorporate into the house. So you can see we've got two different types of cladding. There's the slate on this side and the wood on this side. So they just kind of put both of them on the house just to see how they looked. Basically, we have two main parts of the house. There's the living space, which I was just showing you here, and then all the high-tech stuff is really back in this blue section that you just see the corner of it. That's where all the equipment's going into, all the stuff for the photovoltaics and for the temperature control of the house, the hot water stuff. That's what we're calling the tech core. So we've got the tech core and the living space are the two main parts. And there's a nice breezeway in the middle that's got a high ceiling and lots of windows all around it, just to give you kind of a sense of openness. It's a real small house, so we got to do what we can to make it feel as big as possible. The Montana project, it's the American Indian Housing Initiative, actually, is actually a project that's pretty closely tied to the Solar Decathlon. Again, that's a initiative that Dr. Riley has through the Center for Sustainability, where every year in the spring there's a class of students that works on designing a building, and then in the summer they go for 3 weeks and they actually build this building on the Northern Cheyenne Reservation in southeast Montana. And it's, you know, it's great. You go and you set up tents in this big field and you just kind of, you know, sleep in your tent. You wake up in the morning and you go to the construction site and you just start building. And the Solar Decathlon is actually our attempt at taking a lot of the principles that we've been doing in Montana, you know, designing a building based on the local climate and the local materials and the local skills that people have. That's our attempt at doing it for Central Pennsylvania. First of all, just because we have so many people involved, and second of all, because of, you know, the people involved span from freshmen that are just trying to figure out what they want to do in college, to other PhD students who are very specialized. So it's been interesting working with all those different groups, but I think that's probably been one of the parts that's been the most rewarding, trying to figure out how sustainability applies to anybody.